Hey, friend, thanks for joining another episode of Mastering Your Mentality. Today, we're taking a deep dive into the look of what to do when panic attacks. This is going to be for the people who know this terrible feeling and actually want to do something about it so that they can not only diminish the experience and make it shorter, but also make it happen less and less often. But it's going to require you to actually start facing fears and having to sit with this experience. And it sounds crazy, but I'm going to tell you why this works, and it's been proven by science. Not only by people like you that have dealt with this, but actually overcame it. It's possible for every single person to overcome anxiety and their panic disorder. And so here's like the most effective way to do it, and they call it exposure therapy. So that actually, I'm going to run you through a scenario of what that looks like. But just know that you can always stage it out according to your comfort level. And in order to really be effective, you have to sit through the entire duration. So it helps to really understand relaxation and mindfulness techniques so that you're not going to freak yourself out further by making it worse by your thoughts. But you can actually sit and observe. So it looks something like this. Say you're in the line of a grocery store, and all of a sudden, boom, it hits you. You get nauseous and weak at the knees. You might even start shaking, your heart beating out of your chest, and your shallow breaths, and your body's getting dumped with adrenaline and cortisol. It's like all of a sudden you have this trigger, and it's an emotional memory, and it's telling your body that this is dangerous. So you're feeling these emotions course through your body, very intense. The number one thing to do is not run away. Do not escape. Do not freeze. If you're frozen, you got to do something. But if you want to do something and leave, what happens is if you find relief, if you get away and you find relief, you tell your body that, look, anytime I get scared, I'm just going to run away. And you're never going to actually correct the actual pattern. What you need to do is when you sit there and you feel these intense emotions running through you, as you sit, here's when you practice this calmful. Like the number one thing you can do is put your hand on your belly and ask yourself, how am I breathing? Because when panic attacks, you're not going to be able to logically think. You're in a survival mode. So instead of logically thinking or thinking about, I'm going to die, you understand, actually, my body's trying to protect me. One, I'm not in danger. You can look around. I'm not in danger. Two, and say, put your hand on the belly. How am I breathing? Am I sending a message to my body that actually I am okay? If you try to act normal, you're going to send that message to your brain saying, look, I'm not in danger. Thank you for trying to protect me, but I'm okay. So by doing this, you breathe it out, all that air. I like to start by exhaling. Whew. Thank you for looking out for me, but I'm okay. And then start to notice these deep breaths. Okay? Notice your hand moving. So you're taking your thoughts away and actually focusing on what's going on. And the longer you sit with it, instead of running away, the longer you sit with it, you're telling your brain, hey, it's time to make these new connections. I don't need to trigger and overreact. I actually can sit here and it's not life or death. It's not threatening. I'm not in a dangerous place, so I don't need to overreact and send the entire this alarm system and feel like I need to run and escape. That I can actually sit here and remain calm. And it's this is exposure therapy and it's uncomfortable. So that's why I recommend kind of staging it out a little bit at a time, but not fleeing. Because the more that you do that, the more you make these connections and say, hey, I can't handle this. This is life or death, and it will never get better. And it'll start to get worse. and you'll start to really fear your fears, agoraphobia. And so by doing this and actually staying with it in the moment, you're going to teach yourself that it's not as detrimental as you might think. So you can learn these triggers and you can even write it all down, and it's going to help you to see, okay, these are times when I'm more susceptible to feeling this way. And actually go out and make yourself feel that way. You activate to generate. You activate that stress response to generate new pathways so that you can bypass this stress, bypass the panic into a more calm, peaceful place. All right, so that's like the number one tip I give you. And if you're struggling with this and you want different relaxation and mindful techniques, you can click on that link below and I can walk you through a bunch of practices. I'll also have more in the upcoming videos. And if you know somebody who's struggling with this anxiety and panic, please share this video with them, and hopefully we can help change some people's lives for the better. All right, friends, until next time, keep mastering your mentality.